Big Wingman, welcome to the Wingman's path to positivity, to raising your vibration, and to creating a life of your choosing. And I can't thank you enough for joining me on the path today. Because if there's one thing I know, and if you've been on the path with me for a while, you know that when we share positive energy, when we can provide a little bit of a spark for each other, well, it not only provides you and I both with a spark, but then the people we end up meeting, right, might be fortunate enough, if we're focused on it, to pass that spark of positive energy on to them. And isn't that just a wonderful thing to do? Because when we all do, right, we create a Wingman's path, and we start having so many people in our lives that help us with positive energy or keep us moving in the right direction. So I thank you for being on the path with me today. I just love saying the words positivity, higher vibration, and creating a life of my choosing, because I swear as I say it, I feel like I become a magnet for that. So thank you. So let's get to today's practice, right? And I'm still sort of in wedding mode, so please humor me and let me do a practice that came up from the wedding the other night, where a young man, one of my daughters or her husband's friends, came up to me, I guess it was after my speech, and said, "Hey, I'd like to talk live." He was from Alabama. "I'd like to talk live." And so we started talking a little bit about the Wingman. He said he's been watching the Wingman's Path practices and blah, blah, blah. So I'm talking about this because at the time I was, I'm in the middle of a wedding, and I'm not sure what's coming out of my mouth at that time, because I'm feeling great. Of course, it's a celebration of life, and I just absolutely was loving where I was. And so we were talking for a couple minutes about it, and when he left, he said, "Can you give me a practice?" And I thought, well, you know what? I was in a great place at that point, and I thought thinking back, I think whatever practice I said to him was probably a good practice for you and I to do today. And it's a practice I've done before. I don't think I've done it since we've started the Wingman's Path, but I've done it as practices, and I've done a videotape of it once or twice. And I call it, my Arthur Ashe practice. Arthur Ashe was one of the first African-American, if not the first, I think, African-American tennis champions in the world. And he had a quote that has just stuck with me since I heard it. It's "Start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can." Start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. And I said that to this young man, and he just smiled, and he said, "I can do that. I can do that." So one of the things I realized I've neglected this to say, though, is you got to have a goal. You got to come up with what you want. So I thought for today's practice, you and I, we're going to think of a goal we want, and we're going to just say, start where I am, use what I have, do what I can. Start where I am, use what I have, or start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. That's the exact quote. And I think we should say it and think about what we want. So I thought maybe for a general goal that we all could have is to live in joy and love and happiness and positivity every moment of every day for the rest of our lives. I figured I'd set an easy goal, like a little small goal right there, right? Live in love and positivity and happiness and joy every moment of every day for the rest of our life. So now I want you to join me with that thought in mind of you living every day in joy. And I want you to say with me, start where I am, use what I have, do what I can. Or you can start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. Whatever gets into your subconscious better. Because I'll tell you, since I've gotten these words into my subconscious, they play back every once in a while. And that has been such an important, motivating phrase for me to get myself moving in this wonderful direction. So say it with me, and as you do, think about what that might look like. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. Say it with me for 1 minute. Let's see how it feels. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. I like it. Start where I am. Use what I have. Do what I can. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. Michael, I often like saying it to myself to drive it deeper into my subconscious so it comes back to me easier. Start where you are, Michael. Use what you have. Do what you can. Say it to yourself. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. Let's get this vibe going where we're all starting right where we are, using what we have, and doing what we can to make certain we live the rest of our lives every moment of every day in happiness, in joy, in love, in positivity, right? Sounds like a life worth living. Sounds like a life worth living. So I'm going to tell you how I think of doing this practice, and maybe it can help you. I hope it does. Start where I am. Well, I'm going to start where I am. I'm in a pretty good place, right? I just had a big celebration of life. My daughter got married, so my vibration's very high right now. So I'm starting where I am. Where else am I? Well, I've got a growing Facebook group, and I thank each of you. I thank you for joining it and being a part of it and sharing this with your friends and family and loved ones and neighbors, because I know how positivity grows. And it grows from person to person to person to person to person. And pretty soon we're all connected in positivity. And when you get that kind of connection with your wingman's path, with your people on the path, or with anyone on the path, that's a connection of positivity. That's something that can help you, the universe, to be your wingman, right? That's how you get the universe being your wingman, and there's no better wingman than that. Start where you are. Where am I? I've got to grow. As I said, I've got a growing Facebook group, and I have responsibility. I take the responsibility of my role very seriously. In other words, I know I want to make sure I videotape a practice every day. So I've got that down. I've got this going on. Start where I am. Use what I have. Well, what I have is knowledge. See, I have knowledge of how this universe works and what vibration means, and of my own superpower to create the life of my choosing, to bring more positivity into my life and to raise my vibration and to create the life of my choosing, right? Use what I have. I have that knowledge, and that's a great thing. And you being on the path, you're going to have the knowledge too. So it's going to be a great thing for you as well to know that you can raise your positivity, raise your vibration, and start creating that life, right? Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. Do what I can. What can I do today? Ask yourself that question. What can you do today, starting right where you are, using whatever you have? What can you do today to start moving you in the direction of creating the life of your dreams? What can I do today? I can ask you. I can ask you a question. What do you do when life throws you a curveball and knocks you off track? What practices do you do? What do you do to get yourself moving back into positivity, in a mode of positivity? Or if you think there's something I could do on the path that would help you and others and me, right, all of us, to bring more positive energy in. That's what I can do today. I can ask you that question. I thank you so much for being with me today and practicing with me. And I want you to keep saying those words over and over and over today. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. Because as you do, they're going to get into your head, and it's going to remind you to start where you are. Use what you have and do what you can as you move in the direction of your dreams. I thank you for joining me so much. Have a great day where you start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. And start moving in that direction. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Your wingman, Michael, signing off.